Would you go to a basketball game that was played between robots?
I totally would go. Absolutely.
I would be 100% down for robots that just smack talk to the other team. That would be great.
Oh, and smack talk the refs after every single time they didn't get the call they wanted.
Which, by the way, the ref is also a robot. What's wrong with your infrared? Your LiDAR's screwed up, ref. Would be the best.
I'm so in for that game.
That would be great.
100% in.
That would be great.
That can't come fast enough.
Why don't you drive a Tesla? Just the whole time, them just ragging on, hey, Optimus, you can't see.
You're missing a good game, Robo-Ref.
Quiet, please.
I also love that the playing robots just sound like yokels, apparently. Could update your optics, ref. Just a bunch of that. Just nonstop. Just over and over.
4.
Flash your firmware, you idiot.
3. 2.
The Apple Company presents a truly terrible podcast. Welcome to Nonsense, Season 4, Episode 12. I'm Jeff Parker.
I'm CJ Little.
This is our take on the week's business, tech, and entertainment headlines. This time, move fast and track people, the ruthless ambition of Jamie Siminoff.
Is this guy like an Austin Powers supervillain?
Very much.
Is that what we're dealing with here?
California DMV forces Tesla to drop Autopilot branding.
They should also suggest they drop the safe branding, too.
Another lawyer busted for using AI for research.
Oh, come on, man. It's 2026. Read the output and click on the little source links, my dude.
Science strikes back. The FDA ends political blockade of mRNA flu vaccine.
So while you might not get the flu, you still might get the 5G.
There's a good chance of that.
Good chance.
Also, our big story later this week is about the new space race, why nations are treating AI and compute as critical infrastructure. It's amazing they're just catching on now.
They also believe the internet might change some things. They're really coming right along, aren't they?
Exactly.
Wow, these interconnected computers, they seem to really be a thing.
This could catch on. How's your week going?
Speaking of the internet and my week,
yes.
I heard somebody earlier this week, because there was the Make America Healthy Again video with Kid Rock and RFK Jr. And somebody this week described Epstein's Island as Kid Rock, and I just can't stop thinking about that. I thought
that's really funny. I was like,
that. Oh, that's funny in a very sad, twisted sort of way. So that was the first part of my week. So you see, it started strong.
Sure.
Took my youngest son to Las Vegas for his birthday because he said, Daddy.
Because he turned 21?
He said, all I want for my 6th birthday is to learn how to count cards.
Sure.
So that went over well. It turns out if you stack up 2 kids and put a trench coat on them, the casinos will still take your money. They don't care. They're happy to let them play.
I would imagine they would love to be fooled by that. So
it was fun. They did the Matt King comedy show, which is a magician that does some comedy, and it was actually quite enjoyable. My children really didn't care about anything we did other than being in the swimming pool at all hours.
Oh, sure.
Which means I have to be in the pool at all hours. And like, it's cold in Vegas this time of year at night.
You could have gone anywhere but Vegas and had a better time.
I whined about it the whole time, and they just wanted to go in the pool. I was like, you know what? I'm going to just do this. So I did that. I only lost 1 testicle to frostbite.
Oh, my.
But everything else was fine. There's nothing better than being in a pool as a kid. That's all they want. Even at the pool at home,
sure.
all they want is to be into a pool. But I had a surprise for them, which was there is a place in Vegas. If you have little kids.
I don't.
If you want some, I'll give some to you. I cannot recommend this place enough. There's a place on the south side of the city called Dig This that lets you rent excavators and earth moving equipment by the hour.
Oh, that's fun.
And we didn't tell the children. We just took them there. They both got to work a 1.5 ton excavator, which is like this cute little excavator that will dig real holes.
Yeah.
And I was shocked at how well they adapted instantly. Like,
my nephew used to love going to see construction equipment at work.
So the place recommended, like, most kids tap out in 15 minutes. I was like, no, we need to book at least a half an hour. I know my kids.
You don't know my kids.
And my wife was like, yeah, of course we should do that. And I said, well, what are you going to do with the children for the next hour and a half? After their session? And she said, what do you mean? We'll leave. Like, what? I was like, no. I'm booking the front loader that comes in 2-hour increments. That's what I'm going to do for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going to do. And she's like, no, you have to stay with the children. So I plan on going back for my birthday to just work on the big excavator and the front loader, because that just looks like a hell of a lot of fun.
Did you find, as you dug down, any bodies rolled in carpet?
There was a section that was called the non-Italian section. That's where we did most of our digging. The Italian section that was frowned upon. I guess that could be like a little scavenger hunt. You could be like, hey, rent the backhoe and see if you can solve some of 1950s carpet mysteries.
Solve a crime and get a badge.
It was really fun. I know we don't do recommendations at the top, but Dig This in Vegas was really cool, and it's a great service and really nice people, and it caters to kids, and it was a blast. So
I love it.
We had a ton of fun in our week. How about you? How was your week?
We had rain, and then we had rain, and then we had rain. So that was my week. I didn't get to do a lot of hiking, but I did get to go eat at Gott's over at the farmer's market in Los Angeles, which is wonderful.
With a listener. We had a listener take us to Gott's. Treated us to Gott's.
You and I went, yes. And a dear friend took us, and it was just terribly enjoyable. The whole thing was so fun.
Are we supposed to not talk about this?
Yes, it is. We can't review it. We can talk about it, but we can't review it.
We just reviewed it. What do you mean?
We said nothing about any sort of review. I didn't tell you any item on the menu or how good it was. It was really good. But I didn't tell you that.
We can never go back to Gott's. This is great.
You didn't hear it here.
Great. All right. Wendy's, here you come.
Also, my week, Daddy should have never gotten a new, more powerful Ego leaf blower.
Oh, no. Really?
This thing's really fun. I have, by the way, there are gardeners that come to my house twice a week.
The demonstration?
Yes. To blow away all my leaves and keep the yard clean. I don't care.
You go out after
That means there are 5 days when I get to go blow the leaves away, and I am having the most fun. I'm your kids with the tractor, only I have a leaf blower.
When it comes to manual labor, you are like Jeff Bridges and Starman. Like you are just discovering all this stuff for the first time.
Totally.
And you're like the most curious. You're like, whoa, I can just put this battery on and blow leaves wherever I want.
It's so powerful. It's like mind blowing. Okay. The other thing this week that you and I have just had a black hole of time with is Google's Lyria 3, which is their AI generated music thing that they put on Gemini. And we've been making little stupid songs for the last week.
Yes. Songs might be a bit of a stretch, but we have been making stupid little sound bites. And you and I are just like, every time I make one of these and I click go, there's this 5 seconds of basically what it was like as a kid on Christmas morning before you opened a present.
And then being very disappointed by getting a tie from your aunt.
Yes. And then you're like, oh, pants. Thank you. Oh, pleats. Exactly what I wanted. More pleats.
I have some very good news for songwriters. AI is not coming for your job anytime soon.
Well, I don't know. It's getting a lot better. I feel like we're...
Hit play on one of your favorite ones. We'll play one.
Oh, Listeria's got a fever now, a sickness deep inside somehow. The memory of you, a painful ache, the only song my poor heart makes. So I'll just let the melody just fade, and let the melody just fade.
A lot of the pieces are there compared to what we could do a year ago, even 6 months ago. It's a lot farther along. I know you believe.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that it's not getting better. It is getting better. It's just, there are a lot of tunes on Spotify that I listen to that are clearly invented by AI. I mean, it's the blues of having their cord unplugged from the wall. And I know that's probably not a human writing.
No, that was a Dave Matthews Band song. He had that one.
Is that right?
Yeah, he did that one.
So there are some AI songs that do sound like they maybe could have come from a human that are pretty good, but these are not those. Listeria 3, we keep calling it.
It's Google's Lyria 3, but we can't stop calling it Listeria because I feel like it's the worst name. Like, did the AI name it? Why did you guys name this thing? Work on the AI naming agent before you work on the damn music generator. It has been a tremendous amount of fun, and I know that this phase will pass in the coming single-digit days, but I recommend all listeners go try.
Shall we get to our headlines?
It's only been 15 minutes. Might as well start now.
Privacy schmivacy, the leaked emails Ring didn't want you to see. Leaked emails reveal Ring founder Jamie Siminoff's aggressive, often controversial vision for Search Party, an expansion of the Neighbors app designed to crowdsource the tracking of missing people and suspected criminals. The document shows Siminoff pushing for a pre-crime ecosystem, prioritizing rapid expansion and hyper-growth over burgeoning privacy concerns. Internally, the project faced pushback from employees worried about the potential for racial profiling and the legal risks of turning private citizens' doorbells into a decentralized surveillance force. Despite these warnings, Siminoff dismissed hand-wringing as a barrier to innovation. The leak exposes a corporate culture that viewed public safety as a marketable product, cementing Ring's shift from a simple doorbell company to a polarizing pioneer of community-led surveillance. Now, Ring is owned by Amazon, right?
Yeah, well, first of all, I don't know how much influence Amazon has over the day-to-day. I suspect now they've got some influence because they've taken some real bad heat.
They're paying attention.
Yeah, I think they ran a relatively tone-deaf ad during the Super Bowl.
Find your dog.
With like, we'll just find your dog anywhere. And only if it's black or brown. We don't find the white dogs. The white dogs, we don't look at those. Those dogs are the good dogs.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's not great.
Also, apparently you can see all the video from all of our doorbells. You can see the whole, what's going on in the whole neighborhood and hear whatever's going on in the whole neighborhood.
And sadly, that content is better than 2/3 of what's on YouTube created by influencers. I love the idea of a decentralized system for being able to use it for lovely
surveil the community,
for lovely things. Like maybe you find your dog that's lost, or your kid wanders away, or somebody commits a crime, and you can see, oh, they jump from here to here. That's cool, amazing. What I don't love is that enables all of these other things that we are, as a people, notoriously bad about not doing.
Sure.
If you on the surface, this Ring thing sounds kind of terrible. Let us remind everybody that the NSA did things that were were much worse over the past 20 years in the cover of darkness.
Wait till the NSA require these feeds to come to them. And also in the subpoena for the feeds, they also give you this thing where you can't talk about the fact that you're supplying them the feeds to all the doorbells.
Yeah, of course. So, maybe send a little bit of money to the EFF after listening to this episode, because
EFF.
They seem to be not the only, but one of the loudest, most consistently agitating groups to folks that are trying to do this, because they're like, the
Electronic Frontier Foundation, the EFF.
EFF. From my perspective, this is not going to slow down anytime soon. However, I am optimistic because there has been a lot of news in the press recently about a couple of companies, specifically Ring more recently, and before that a company called Flock, which does have a system of surveillance that generally I think was used for very quote unquote good purposes. There have been so many abuses and documented abuses, and their response has kind of been a shrug. Like, they've put out some lip service to it, but it's basically been a shrug. And to me, that's the more damning concern, is that they haven't said, whoa.
They don't take it seriously.
Yeah. Here's the part that frustrates me the most. You could implement technology such that most of these issues could be resolved.
Yeah.
It is technically possible. I wouldn't even call it very hard, but they are not inclined to do so for, I think, a handful of reasons. And that's where we are. So now it's like, maybe don't put this data in the cloud. Somebody else manages.
I'm going to give you a plug to Reolink and just say, grab yourself a nice Reolink video doorbell. Does everything your Ring doorbell does and more, and does it with complete security. The video is not going away unless you subscribe to a service for it.
Yeah, they still have service.
Your video is kept locally.
Yeah, let's be clear there. It at least gives you the option to do things locally, which is what I would think you'd be better off doing. They still have a subscription service where you can pump that crap into the cloud. That's not really what you want to do. But you said, that Reolink has a service you can put in the cloud if you need to.
It's your choice.
Yeah, needs a strong word there. And I think this is part of the problem. Ring and Reolink and others, not just those companies, have made it super duper easy to get basic video at your home.
Yeah.
You can go to Home Depot and buy a thing for a couple $100.
Nothing.
Point is, very inexpensively, easy to install.
Ring doesn't even give you the option to keep your data simply just locally.
That's the thing. That's what I was trying to paint a difference.
Your only option is to send it to the cloud.
Like Ring and Blink and others, there is no local option. Reolink, at least you have an option. These other services, they're turnkey, right? You walk into Home Depot, you buy the thing, you put it up, away it goes. There is no option to install it locally because that is a pain in the ass and more work.
More importantly, they're not getting your data.
Well, yeah.
They want your data.
What's the Andreessen quote? Most people will happily enjoy long-term chronic pain to avoid short-term acute pain.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Like, that's what that is. They're like, oh yeah, I don't care. I'll pay $6 a month. But yeah, that's true. I mean, that's most people.
Yeah.
Anyway, this Ring network, I think, is concerning. I'm glad people are getting in front of it.
California's Tesla ultimatum: rename Autopilot or stop selling cars. Tesla has officially retired the term Autopilot in California to avoid a 30-day suspension of its manufacturing and dealer licenses. The California DMV ruled that the branding was misleading, implying that vehicles could operate autonomously. To comply with state consumer protection laws, or just labeling things correctly, Tesla has rebranded the feature as traffic-aware cruise control and added supervise to its full self-driving marketing.
That was not their first choice. I believe their first choice was they were going to call it Magic Driving Genie, and California's like, maybe not.
Probably not.
Maybe that's the direction we don't want you to go.
The move protects Tesla's access to the largest U.S. market following a multi-year dispute over deceptive advertising. While the software remains technically unchanged as a level 2 driver assist system, the regulatory pivot signals a major shift in how the company must communicate its technology's limitations to the public.
California and all this regulation keeping us safe. I mean, how dare they make it say on the tin what it does?
Sure, the OCD part of me needs things labeled correctly, though.
Of course.
And it's not even a matter of like keeping people safe, because I can remember, oh yeah, Tesla's going to run me into a telephone pole. Don't do that. But I want things to be labeled correctly.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts when things are labeled incorrectly.
That's why every time I come over to your house, I put GFCI stickers on non-GFCI outlets just to screw with you. So I'm just going to leave this here. Little surprise for Jeff to find later. This is interesting. I really don't think Tesla had an option here. This is what they had to do. They had to come up with something.
California's got to be the largest market for EVs.
It's their largest U.S. market. Yeah, it is definitely the largest U.S. market, especially on the service side, where most car companies, they make way more margin on service and parts than they do.
Of course.
And a lot of it's in the dealer network and whatnot. The little tiny bits of Tesla repair quotes that I've seen, man, it seems like they're marking up those parts quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, panels, if you get a dent, you can't undent them. They're carbon fiber. They don't undent.
Great. Don't worry. Your Optimus robot will fix it all for you.
Great.
Very slowly.
As long as the guy in the Philippines is operating it.
But don't worry. The new Tesla RoboCrash cab is coming out. We're going to get that thing announced. Tesla has looked at a lot of different markets, and what they've found is they really want to take that crash test dummy market and deploy that widely.
What CJ is talking about is the NHTSA. Their data has revealed that Tesla's test fleet in Austin, Texas, their robotaxi test fleet in Austin, Texas, has recorded 14 crashes in 18 months, with 5 occurring in just the last month. Now, that's really not that amazing until you think about how few cars they have in Austin. There's something like 32 cars. So like almost half the cars have been in accidents. Reports suggest a crash rate significantly higher than that of human drivers.
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, remember, this thing was going to cover half the U.S. population by the end of 2025. So that's still coming. We're going to get there soon-ish. They have deployed from some inside metrics as well as just users counting cars.
Yes.
They've got something like, it's dozens of cars deployed in Austin. Not hundreds, not thousands, dozens.
It's dozens.
And then I think in San Francisco, there's something like a couple hundred. Like maybe it's like roundly 200 cars deployed in all of San Francisco.
Oh, no, I think it's 200 if you add Austin together with San Francisco.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's this very small number.
It doesn't really matter if it's 200 or 500. The point is, it's extremely small compared to what we were supposed to have. You're still having pretty high, what I'll call failure rate. Like if an accident is a failure, which a crash,
it's a failure.
Should be. I can't really call it an accident because it's kind of a purpose when the software does it. It's not an accident.
Right. You didn't really think through some cases.
Well, I got confused and mashed the accelerator. Yeah. So not great, which is not a surprise to me at all. I'd love to see more data on this. I'd love for them to be more transparent. That's also not going to happen.
Do you know why it's not going to happen?
Why? What's not going to happen? They're not going to release any data?
Why Tesla doesn't have to reveal the data that Waymo has to reveal?
Because they categorize their cars as just a regular car. They're level 2.
As like a taxi cab with a human driver.
Because they assume the passenger, the consumer of this product, doesn't know the difference and doesn't care. And it's like, well, okay, that can be our job. Like you and I can educate the folks that like, oh, there's a big difference between L2, keep you in the lane, maybe hold on to the steering wheel.
With a human 2 inches away in case it doesn't. Yeah.
I mean, that's what L2 is, right? L2 is like what you have in your car where you push a little button. It's like adaptive cruise control. It kind of sort of keeps you in the lane, but you still got to be there, hands on the wheel. Yeah. Lovely technology and very stable in lots of manufacturers' cars. Works well, kind of hard to live without once you see it and use it. Big stretch to get to L4.
To call it full self-driving.
That is not what this is.
Let me just explain that there are 5 levels of self-driving.
L4 and L5 are arguably exactly the same. It is fully autonomous driving. The difference is level 4 has to have a fallback to a human, which can either be in the car or remote.
Yeah.
Level 5, no fallback needed. No one has achieved level 5 yet.
No.
I do think it is fascinating to note that in many ways, level 5 is easier to achieve than level 4 because the switchover is the hard part. So right now we're in level 4 because we can test, but I think in actual production land, we're probably going to skip level 4 and just go straight to level 5. Level 0 is driving yourself, right? Level 1 is you either have assistance with accelerating, braking, or steering. Level 2 is both. Yeah. That is worth pointing out. Level 3 is conditional automation, and then 4 and 5 we just discussed. High automation, full automation. Tesla, because their tech is working so well across the board on everything, they are building these cyber cabs where there are no steering wheels or inputs. Doesn't mean a human can't control it.
That's right. The first one is rolled off the line.
Because again, these Teslas are so popular and there's so many people and they really need that extra seat. That was really the problem, is they didn't have the extra seat space. Now, these are not going to be level 5, at least I don't think so. They can't even get level 4 right. Presumably they're going to be level 4 where there's a remote driver that can assist the vehicle.
I don't know how they're magically going to get from L2 to L4. They seem to have no path right now that I see in Tesla tech that will get you from L2 to L4. You cannot use optical sensors and get from L2 to L4. You must use LiDAR at this point.
It's worth pointing out a couple things. One, I haven't done the math to divide the numerator by the denominator, but I can say in absolute numbers, level 4 Waymos have killed 0 people.
Yeah, they have to report every single time a human intervenes. They have to report it.
Much stricter level of reporting in California.
Yeah.
Tesla level 2 has verifiably killed people.
Oh, sure.
I also love that in their California Public Utilities, Tesla's filing, the California Public Utilities Commission, they had said, oh yeah, of course the robotaxis rely on in-car human drivers and remote operators, which we all knew. That was not a surprise, but you kind of had to hear them say it.
It's only in Austin where they're running them without in-car human drivers because the laws are a little more lax.
Hold on now.
In Austin. In California, you actually have to have a driver there.
Hold on. 2 separate things here, because I like where you're going. I like where your head's at on this. This is one of the few things you and I are aligned on. In California, yes, they still have remote operators or in-car human drivers, but Tesla argued that this multi-layered approach is safer than fully driverless competitors. Okay. And I am sure it is safer than some competitor somewhere. It, however, is not safer than Waymo. So
not even close.
It's not safer than all of their competitors. Austin, you mentioned Austin. They have removed the operators, the sort of in-car human drivers from the cars in Austin. However,
Put a follow-up car behind the car.
What has been observed is on these cars, there is a chase car following it. Now, I don't know if that's every case. It's a little anecdotal, but still, the fact that it's happened even once or twice or more seems not great.
This didn't get less expensive. It got more.
Austin, you get something like 2.5 months worth of rain in Austin every year.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So roughly speaking, 20% of the days in Austin, it rains.
Yeah.
As it turns out, them little optical sensors, some people may call them cameras, don't work great in the rain. So they ground their fleet during the rain. And you could say, well, okay, you don't want to...
All 32 cars, they ground.
It's an edge... All 32. Where are you going to park 32 cars? That Whole Foods lot was half full now because they had to park those 32 cars in downtown Austin. I'm not sure that the visibility in the rain problem is solvable optically.
No.
Yet with LiDAR, you have a car that is better than humans around it.
Of course.
All the Tesla fanboys are like, yeah, but LiDAR stuff's expensive. I'm like, it was 5 years ago. It's not now.
Yeah, it's come way down in price.
Like, name one technology that has gone up in price since invention. Just any one.
Sure.
I'll wait. Like, what's ever gone up?
By the way, Rivian has swapped out. They're not using optical technology now either.
They're using smell. They're like a smell sensor.
I would love that.
They went full dog.
Coming installed in the Rivians are LiDAR sensors.
Yeah, I really hope Rivian can kind of sneak in behind and suck up all the oxygen that Tesla is no longer breathing, because that's a wrong analogy. I really hope that Rivian can really sneak in here and wedge themselves a nice position, because I think their engineering looks to be really stellar. I like their vehicles. I think they found a good fit between Spartan design of the Teslas that I really don't enjoy with something that is still a little more futuristic and car driver friendly. So we'll see. I'm optimistic.
In related news, Waymo will soon be starting up in London and Tokyo.
Oh, that's cool. So they're going after the right-hand drive market now.
Which is crazy. I mean, that's like a whole nother thing you got to figure out, I guess. I
you got to change all the code from tabs to spaces. There's no other way to do it.
Is that right?
It's the only option.
The hallucination hearing. DA sanctioned for AI-generated lies. In a major legal blunder, Kenosha County District Attorney Xavier Solis was sanctioned by Circuit Court Judge David Hughes for failing to disclose the use of AI in court filings. The controversy erupted during a burglary case when the defense attorneys discovered prosecution's brief contained hallucinated, fictitious legal citations. Kenosha court rules mandate that any AI-assisted work must be formally disclosed and verified for accuracy, a standard Solis failed to meet. Well, yeah, no kidding.
You're right.
While the judge ultimately dismissed the charges due to a lack of probable cause rather than AI errors, the incident has drawn sharp criticism from legal experts. Solis has since acknowledged the issue, reinforcing internal practices to prevent future digital hallucinations from undermining the credibility of the prosecutor's office. Maybe too late for that now.
Yeah, a couple things. One, it sounds like this particular office, which is not small, I think it's like the 8th largest city or county in the state of Wisconsin. So it's not like this is like podunk. Like this is not.
Okay,
but
sure.
Something they've had a lot of assistant district attorney positions that have been opened and unfilled. So I'm sure they are under the gun with a lot of work.
Yeah.
That seems to be the case for sure. You probably shouldn't submit your briefs in what effectively is CRAN. Like that's not a great idea. And I feel like that's what they've done here. They were just like, well, it's YOLO. And like ChatGPT said, like all of these words look like English, so we're going to submit. Like I think that was their mindset. And that just seems really bad.
Well, I just think that they assume the AI is going to get it right because an awful lot of times it does get it right. That's just not the case. AI frequently hallucinates. By the way, you may not need associate lawyers in your firm right now because you can reduce staff size. What you can't do is get rid of people to fact check the stuff that AI puts out. You've got to actually make sure it's not making things up.
For now, I do think that is a temporary-ish bump. I do think that is a slope going down. Right now, absolutely for sure. I would not do a lot of trusting of these things. I do think that is getting better. It will continue to get better. But the point is, you guys have a process for this. This court has a process that says, like, check this box, fill out this form if you did it with AI.
Oh, yeah, you have to admit that you got your stuff from AI.
And it requires a modicum of scrutiny.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm making broad assumptions here that they just thought, well, that would mean we have to do more work. They'd question this. We're already overburdened.
Or they were in a rush and they just didn't check their work.
Oh, I don't know about I'm in a rush. Like, well, come on. How can you be in a rush? Like you're talking about a crime. Someone's going to like do some I
always imagine the DA office is incredibly overworked. It's understaffed. I mean, it's
No. If I've learned one thing from Dick Wolf, it's that they get to put their feet up on the desks. They spend a lot of time just talking to each other and getting lunch. Like in 2023, I could maybe give you a little rope on this and be like, well, you thought the AI was perfect. Yeah. You need to think. Even if you're under a rock for the past 3 years, you would know that the AI is not going to get this thing right now. The point of going to law school and taking the bar and passing it is that you're now in this group of folks that have some sort of implicit trust of one another that you're not going to do certain things. Yeah. And that you're going to respect a certain decorum.
You're not going to make up cases?
You're not going to make stuff up.
But if you look back, though, at the case of Little versus Parker.
Oh, it's a good one.
It's okay to make up cases.
Yeah. As long as they're funny.
That's set a precedent where it's okay to make up cases.
Here's what we have to do. Yeah. We can just create a bunch of AI slop source work that we can then somehow get into the training of these AIs. And then people can just, like, I would love to have like a Supreme Court brief that cites Little v. Parker 2024. I feel like that would be the ultimate trolling, where they're like, this was about chocolates. This was about Reese's Pieces. Like, that's what we need.
In a dramatic regulatory showdown, the FDA has reversed its shocking rejection of Moderna's mRNA flu vaccine. The initial blockade was led by Trump appointee Vinay Prasad, who overruled the career scientists to label Moderna's critical trials inadequate. Insiders viewed the move as part of a broader anti-vaccine agenda spearheaded by HHS Secretary RFK Jr., whose administration has been openly hostile toward mRNA technology. To break the deadlock, Moderna proposed a strategic compromise, seeking a full approval for adults aged 50 to 64 and an accelerated approval for seniors.
So what that means, by the way, is that we're going to see by the start of this next flu season, August of this year, the lower age bracket, the 50 to 64, will be able to get this mRNA flu shot that will be approved. What's so frustrating to me about this is what Moderna, their trial that they did, the FDA signed off on. The FDA said, if you do this and it's successful, we will grant you the ability to sell this drug. Moderna did that and then came back to the FDA. They went, psych. No, I actually want you to do something different. The FDA hasn't really changed course. They've said this is what we want now, which is more stringent. I don't actually think what they're asking for in the test is necessarily unreasonable. The fact they're asking for it after they said
they'd approve it,
they didn't require it, is the unreasonable part.
Right.
Because there are so many work streams behind this.
You ramp up production.
Yeah, you ramp up production. You've got Salesforce out there to get this product out into the market. All those folks might be at risk. And this, to be clear, this is not about safety. There's no challenge or issue with safety here. It's only about improved efficacy.
Right.
And what they have shown is that the 65 and over dose is more efficacious than the standard flu shot. So it's not like it's worse or the same. It is more efficacious. They want them to demonstrate that it's more efficacious than a high dose of the same flu shot.
Sure.
And that's the part that hasn't been done. I don't think that's unreasonable. I think this compromise is kind of the best outcome you could get from this position. So, okay.
At least we'll move forward and get to have mRNA flu shots. And mRNA flu shots are important because right now, when you make the flu vaccine, you are predicting a year out what flu strains are going to be washing around the world.
You're hoping.
You're crossing your fingers and you're frequently wrong.
Yeah.
Even though that flu vaccine may help you with a similar strain, it's very hard to guess the actual strains that will be going around the world at that time.
You don't know how it's going to mutate. You don't know what's going to be. You know it's going to be big. Yeah.
With mRNA, you shorten that amount of time where you have to make those guesses. So your guesses are going to get a lot more accurate.
Yeah, which is lovely. And there's been no data that I've seen or that I know of that shows that mRNA has any more side effects or risk than traditional vaccines.
Probably fewer.
Which also have very low risks and side effects. Yes, that seems to be the case.
Okay, enough of the headlines. In fact, enough of the episode. We have to get out of here. Special thanks to our floor director, John Abdelnour.
Thanks, John.
We'll be back later this week with our big story, why borrowing AI is a risky move for most nations. Until then, thank you for listening to all this nonsense. I'm Jeff Parker.
I'm CJ Little.
I'm Jeff Parker.
Oh, don't you take my riz, my gimmick, my tagline.
Your hook.
My hook. My hook is a pause between my first name and my last name. I can't wait to explain that Vox podcast casting call when you get sick of me. Well, see, here's what I do.
Yes.
I take my first name and then a to-be pause, then my last name. People go wild.
Wild's one word for it, yes.
Polio can strike anyone, Jeff, even the fittest.
Yeah.
It can cripple you or your children.
Yes.
Your neighbors.
Yeah.
The best defense?
Yeah.
Vaccination.
Okay.
15 million people, children, expectant mothers, grown-ups, have been given this protection already. What about you?
Absolutely.
Everyone under 40 should be vaccinated. It's free. Ask your local health department or family doctor now. Issued by the Ministry of Health.
That's the ad? Oh, that's pretty good. I like that.
That's one, but there's another one that I like even better.
Okay.
This one has a drawing of a bee on it.
Yeah.
It's like a flying bee. And it says, Wellbee says, be well.
Yeah.
Take the oral polio vaccine. Tastes good, works fast, prevents polio.
Yes.
By the way, I don't think that was stack ranked order. I don't think that should be the stack ranked order. I think you should probably put prevents polio towards the top of the list.
Probably.
Beyond it tasting good. These were two ads that I pulled. They're from a similar time period. When do you think this was?
Well, the polio vaccine came out in shot form well before the oral version came. By the way, my uncle tells a great story about, everybody's so resistant to get vaccines.
Yeah.
The sugar cube. They would put the vaccine on a sugar cube and you would go around and you'd get a Dixie cup that had a little sugar cube
Sure.
the vaccine in it. You'd eat the sugar cube. The sneaky kids would go around to try to get another one because they wanted the sugar cube.
The double vaccinated?
The double vaccinated kids, yes.
Yeah.
So that was really the problem more. Kids wanted to be extra vaccinated. They wanted more. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Polio vaccine, I was not alive. So I'm guessing from if my uncle would have been in grade school, that would have been in the mid-50s. I'll say like 1955, maybe the sugar cube version 2 years later, so 57.
The ads were 1960 for the shot, 1963.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't mean that's when it came into existence, right? This is when it was being advertised, presumably a couple years later. You're in the right territory. It's just crazy to me, the messaging difference and the response difference. Like, this is the thing that keeps you from having to put your child or loved one into a metal tube of certain death.
Oh, sure.
Versus now, we're just like, I don't know. It looks like it's got mercury in it, and that's bad. So I'm just not gonna. I saw this reel on Instagram.
Yeah, I was friends. She didn't die, but she moved away. I was friends with somebody who had polio. She was
terrible,
just slightly older than I am.
Yeah.
And by my generation, polio pretty much was almost down to nothing.
Almost gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forget the shots, make these all oral and put them in Godiva chocolates, little Godiva truffles.
Oh, yeah. No, just a sugar cube.
We would have the most sugar cube. Put them in Godiva truffles.
Kids stole doses of vaccines because they were in sugar cubes.
I'm trying to make some money here. Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to put them into my little Godiva. So we're going to brand it little Parker chocolates.
Okay.
Each one. Oh my God, this is it. It's a box of chocolates you open, and each one's a different vaccine. You're like, oh, polio. I want that one. I'll take the polio one. Oh, measles. Oh yeah. I don't want to get measles. That tastes like coconut. That should be how this works. There should be people excited to go get their delicious vaccine. This is the problem.
Sure.